Alright guys, I'm recording this training because I want to show you what our clients that are doing well are actually doing versus people who are not doing well. And there's people inside our program who have done exceptionally well, which I'll show you some results soon. And there's some clients that have come through and haven't done very well at all. And the main reason is one person follows a process and does the work while others don't. So I guess, who's this training for? It's for somebody who wants to do the work, figure out what they're doing wrong and what they need to change to be able to get success. And who's it not for? It's for somebody who just wants a quick tip and a quick idea or some entertainment to go away and then blame others on why they haven't achieved success. Because the only reason you haven't achieved the success you've wanted inside your business is purely you haven't figured out what's missing. You haven't figured out what's wrong. You haven't figured out what you need to do consistently to be able to get that success, which means you're lacking somewhere. It's the only problem, or the only thing that is why you haven't had the success that you wanted. And if you do have the success, then you may as well not watch this video. But if you are trying to grow and you are trying to improve, then go through this video. I'm going to show you the difference on what you may be doing wrong and what you can do instead to try to get that success. And if you just want some quick tips and some quick ideas, this video is probably not for you. So this starts off with some complex looking imagery with arrows pointing, confusing everybody, right? And I think that's really what the online training world looks like. A lot of arrows, a lot of confusion, some dollars down the bottom, some numbers, some figures, arrows pointing everywhere with some social media stuff, confusing everybody and stopping them from progressing. The reality is, if we break this down in its simplest form, all we really need is one platform where leads are. These are ideal clients. One of them, not all three, not all four, not all five. Pick one of them, and it's probably the one that you're already on. If you're already on one, sweet, move forward. Then what we have to do is we have to create a way to generate traffic. Okay, so traffic would be content. How do we actually generate content? We'll show you that in a moment. Paid ads. How do we actually create paid ads to generate leads? Now these, if we create them the way that we create them and the way our clients create them, they kind of do the same thing. So we can hit two birds with one stone. We can create content that adds value to people and have people reaching out to us. We can have paid ads which means our ads reach out to people, and we move them all to conversations. Our conversations will qualify them to decide whether they're going to be fit for our program, and we move them towards a sales call. If not, we create these feedback loops. That's what these arrows are doing. So we go to chat, they're not ready for a 45-minute call or for our sales opportunity. We move them into some paid material, which eventually moves them back into a sales call so we can help them out. Let's say they're not quite ready for your actual program, then we provide some value until they are ready, then we move them towards a call. If we do think that they're ready for a call, we move them towards that call. If they're not, once we have that call, we've got this wrong, we move them back down into this value area. Then we can move them back to a call once we've helped them out with that. Same thing here, and this creates this open loop continuously. We're always trying to provide value, always trying to help them, and potentially always having them as a client. So we move them to a call, let's say that's gone well, we move them into our high ticket offer, is where we want them to be. Firstly, because it makes more money for us. Secondly, because it should be the best product we can possibly create to give them the best value, the best results that they can possibly have. So we don't have to sell them a $10 program that probably does nothing. We might as well try to get them in the best program because it's the best thing for them to get results, right? If for whatever reason that's not going to work financially, whatever the problem is right now, we can move them to our lower ticket offer, which is also going to help them to eventually potentially move them up to a high ticket offer, creating that open loop. Now all we need to do, if we break it down, calm it down for a sec, we go pick one of these social media platform to generate traffic. Move the traffic with our content machine and our paid advertising machine into conversations. Our conversations move them into calls, and our calls move them into clients. Then, how do we price our offer to make sure that the economics can actually work for growth and scale? We just use a basic formula here, which we can go over soon. Hopefully everyone's keeping up. Let's move on. So just before we move there, does this model work? If we just have a look, here's some quick testimonials of some people like Ryan with the $7,000 day there, $12,000 month. It keeps going on. 11 calls booked from our paid ads. 4 calls booked, $280 there for this first call. $17,000 cash collected, 12,000 cash collected, 17,000 here. So we've got the testimonial stuff to back all that up, rather than just people can just say that they've done well. Yep, our clients do good. Okay, so what we need to do, if we go here, let's have a look. Okay, so depending on where you're at right now, you have to go through this process, right? You have to have an offer that your clients are actually wanting. To do that, improve that, you have to sell it. If you're trying to create automations and systems without actually selling your offer, then you're going to be pushing shit uphill for a long time. Okay, I'm going to run through this quite quickly. If you have any other questions, you want to dive into this in more detail, want some support or help with this, reach out at any point of time. Okay, so we have to create an offer that our clients actually want. Those things have to be in alignment, an offer our clients want and they want to pay for now. Yep. Then we go through and we make sure we have content that works. We sell our first 5 clients, that's our hypothesis proven. Then we create some automations in our minimal viable product. Okay, how do we deliver a result to our clients? Then that's going to take us up to our 5 to 10K per month, where we have our offer confirmed, like we know who we're helping. We have our content mastered. We're using our hook story offer stuff that we show you in some of the other trainings. We create some automation inside our conversations that can be with a person, or it can be with chat bots. It can be with some AI stuff that we're working with at the moment too. Then we have to optimize our sale. This is like a big lever where almost every trainer I talk to, they're like, oh yeah, I can sell, I just need more leads. And then when we get them inside the program, their sales sucks. And the reason why people think they're good at it is because they usually work from referrals, so the leads are so hot, they're actually wanting to buy from you before you even get them. But then you get somebody who's shopping around a little bit and seeing ads or seeing content from 5,000 other trainers, you're getting outsold because the other person has better content. So therefore, they're not showing up to your call and you're wondering why. It's just like, they're just better than you in so many other ways. So it's like, it gives us the opportunity to realize, like, our sales isn't quite good enough, but then the whole process leading into the sales isn't good enough. And that's why most people will get stuck sort of in here somewhere. Then we create our systems and create automation inside our product, our minimal viable product. How do we create automation so we're not having to say the same stuff over and over and over every time we bring a new client in? We can create those automations inside there. Then we go from here and we go to scale. So we put more money into our ads to get more leads coming in, so we have more conversations. Our conversation flow has been dialed in because we've been doing it for a while now. Then we can create automations inside that there as well. See if I can move that guy. Then we can look at, say, outsourcing, building out hero products. Hero products means products that we're selling now where we're not doing as much coaching. That's how we start to grow and scale from there. Okay, so moving forward with this. Okay, this here is just like a simple thing. Again, I'm not going to go into this in too much detail. I'm going to rush through this. This is just like, how do we create and make sure our offer is actually dialed in? We need an offer, first circle. We're trying to get this middle one, right? First circle is the person. We know who the person is. We know what their problem is. We know that they have the money to actually buy our program, and your product and program can solve their problem. Because if you're selling booty bands to a dude who wants to increase their bicep size, like, there's a misalignment. We've got to make sure these things are always in alignment. So if that's not dialed in, that's where you're stuck. You need to dial that in. Then if we go to this here, like I just said before, we just create everything is pushing our content through and our ads through to conversations are moving to calls into offer 1, offer 2, high level, low level. We create a third in the future, but it won't be for you right now. The model math that I was talking about is simply, a lot of people go wrong here, right? What is the pricing of our product? And you can go 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, just like have a higher one, a middle one, and then a low ticket one, right? Try never to sell your low ticket one. Try to get your first 2 dialed in, and then you just have to put these things in here. How much are you actually spending on? Like, are you willing to spend on your ads? So if you're spending $1,000 a month on ads, but making $4,000 a month, it's a pretty good spend. Move that to 2,000 with the stats staying the same, which they probably won't. But if they are staying the same, you spend 2,000, make 8,000, right? It's just the maths, but you need to play around with the model like this. So you can work out, okay, I've made $160,000 that year. What do I actually make profit? A lot of people miss that out as well. Okay, dialing our niches is the same thing. Who is the person, problem, pain point? Then we go, okay, ideal client. If you come up with your ideal client, what is the main problem that they have? Do they have the money? And if all those things align, sweet, you can carry on. Successful niche, creating a problem. What is your niche biggest frustrations? What are their desires? What are their fears? What are the obstacles that they face? How do you find these people? And then what is the problem that these people have? And just, you can go through that in the worksheets as well. We won't go through that there. Content mastery, right? So we just go through who is your ideal client. Your content is based on a hook, story, offer. Hook, not another 10-week challenge. You know, we're targeting challenges because they've been done to death. So you might say, not another 10-week challenge. That's the hook. Then we go story. I remember when my client James came to me, he'd done 5 10-week challenges over the last 6 months. He'd gained 10 pounds, lost 10 pounds. He'd lost 12 pounds, gained 15 pounds, until we realised that long-term planning, that would be the story and then the offer. If you're like James and you're sick and tired of being on that hamster wheel, of gaining weight, losing weight, then comment below and I'll send you through, or book a call now depending on this, if there's an ad or organic, right? Hook, story, offer. That's how we do that. So this cross looking thing here would just be on one side we go what are all the problems that the person has, and then on this side we just go the inverse. The problem is they constantly they can continuously lose weight, but they always put it on. So what's the opposite of that? They lose weight and they keep it off. Opposite, right? So we just play on that. What are the top 5 things on this one side here? And what's the opposites of them here? So then we know what they are looking for. Okay, so I want to bring it back to here for a moment, okay? Because the main thing that I want to bring it back here for a moment, because the main thing that is crucially important in the way that we think about growing our business is client first mentality. Like, what can we do that's best for your client? If you always have that in your mind, there's no confusion about like, are you being salesy? Should you sell them this program or that program? Because if you think about it from on a sales call, what's best for the client is usually and should most likely be your high-end program, right? For whatever reason, if they can't afford it, like if there's financial issues and it's going to put them under a certain financial stress which is going to cause life problems, of course not, right? But generally, the person's overweight, sick, unhealthy, all of this sort of stuff, and just dying literally in the call in front of you. And you've got to think about like, well, what's best for them at this point of time is most likely to work with you. It's the same with when you're creating content. You go, what's too much value? What's not enough value? Well, what's best for the client? If you can create as much value as you possibly can, where it's not too much value that it's not good for them anymore, then that's how much value you want to give. If you think about like how often or how much contact time should I have with the client, it's as much as they possibly need. If you always think about what's best for the client, your retention rate will be through the roof because you're always over delivering. And like, we can look at all this fancy stuff, but at the end of the day, if you can over deliver for your clients, be there for them more than they can be there for you, be there to the point that if they're going to quit, they're giving up on themselves, you're not giving up on them. Just, they know that too. They just know that you're always there for them no matter what. And honestly, if you have that mindset with all the content you create, with every chat that you have, with every sales call that you have, and with every client that you look after, you'll be able to keep growing and growing and growing. The only other thing that I would say is when you get to 5,000 a month and 10,000 a month, don't change the process. I've been guilty of this so many times as well, and my clients do the same thing. They get consistency, and then they think for a new strategy rather than double downing on the strategy that they've got. Because the strategy I've just showed you here will get you to 30,000 a month comfortably. You don't need another system. You still only need one platform. You need some basic ad template, some content to generate goodwill. You need to have a conversation flow and a sales process and a great program. How do you create a great program? Well, you probably already know how to do that. But when it comes online, just add more value than anybody else. Be better than anybody else. Be there more for your clients. That's how you actually generate it. So hopefully that was helpful. If you have any other clients or you want to go into more detail on any piece of this, just reach out and let me know. We've got trainings for every single piece of the puzzle, and I'm happy to send that across. So just let me know. You get stuck, you want to keep growing. If you want us to come on board and actually run the ads for you and actually implement our Instagram strategy inside your business, let me know as well. We can have a look to see where your business is, and we might be able to do that for you as well.